Welcome back to Shay The Good People podcast. I'm Shay of The Good People, aka Shayna Blast. That's like the full name. Fierce. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit loopy doopy today because we have an amazing guest in the studio, which I'll intro in a second, okay? But first, if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you clicked on Shay The Good People podcast. I've been doing this for a little while now, not that long, and I just love talking to people on the show, from the show. And you're like, wait, what? What's the show? So Shay The Good People is a singer-songwriter showcase that I host over at Pete's Candy Store here in Brooklyn. It's monthly. I will do original music. I'll host the show. And then I have 3 different singer-songwriters each show who come in to share their tunes. They do 3 songs each on the set. And then I have them here in the studio to talk about their songs, to talk about their life. I learn more about them. And thus, we've created the Shay and the Good People podcast. So it's kind of like a pairing, like a sister pairing. And speaking of sisters, you heard it here. You heard it here first. I'd love to welcome a guest on Shay and the Good People and my little sister, Abigail Rose, a.k.a. Tommy Rose, a.k.a. maybe changing that soon.
Maybe back to Abigail Rose.
Maybe back to Abigail Rose.
Oh,
hi, welcome to Shay and the Good People podcast.
Hi.
We might cry.
Maybe more than once.
Yeah, that'd be fierce.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, you're welcome.
My first full real interview.
That's right. And it won't be the last, sweetie.
That's right.
Get prepared. Okay, you're giving spine, you're giving sitting up straight, and I'm giving relaxed and sweaty.
Took an exercise class this morning.
That's
trying to
right.
get my posture.
Yeah, there's
Full
right.
day.
And you're going to do it. There's so many things we could talk about. I've never had anyone on the podcast who has been from the same womb as me.
I was going to say that you've known since birth.
Yeah, that I've literally known
I guess since my birth.
Since your birth. I've known you since your birth. You came out of our mother when I was 3 years old.
True story.
And in the hospital, I tried to feed you graham crackers. Those are the snacks that I had.
no teeth yet.
You had no way of digesting that. And I had no idea. And I don't exactly, of course, remember what I thought about having a sister or another baby in the home. But I don't know if I told you this, but mom and dad would show me these like videos for kids, like VHS TV shows on like, hey, there's going to be a new baby in the house. Like they kind of trained.
Very 90s.
Very 90s. Everyone was wearing a thick headband and had like bangs, straight bangs. Mm-hmm. It was like the
different neon colors.
Yeah, exactly. Like purple sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching and I was in a phase when I think maybe all kids go through this, but I just remember watching things over and over and over again. And I would watch this tape. I have no idea how long it was of this tape of a show for children who were going to have a kid in a new sibling. Wait a minute.
Not children having children.
Sorry, who were going to have another sibling in the home.
Right,
it was for children who were going to have kids.
No, that's so cute.
Yeah. And so I think I was just like, okay, this is happening. Like I don't remember ever being one of those kids who was jealous of their sibling. I think it was like cool until maybe just because I liked being the leader.
Cool until
like it was normal. Not until it was bad. Cool. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, like there's like another little like kid in the house and like I guess we're like chilling here together and like that's fun. Until then it was like okay, we're just
still here. Yeah.
Not even in that dark a way of just like, okay, yeah, you have like people have siblings. That's like how it works. You know, it wasn't like good or bad. And then, we go through high school and I was kind of doing my own thing in high school and I never felt like, oh God, my sister, like stop hanging out with us. Was it like that?
No, I mean, maybe in like when you were in middle school and I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
I think high school, you were actually very inclusive and you like wanted me to like be part of your shows and hang out with your friends and like,
Yeah.
you know, all the things.
Yeah, we did theater together, which was fun. Hilarious.
For a little bit. And then I was like, this is not for me. She's the star on the stage.
We also started competitive dancing
That's
when we were very young.
Sisters,
Swinning. This is going to be a very fierce moment. Abigail and I watch a ton of...
I've changed my names a lot of times.
Yeah. It's okay.
Through recent years.
You're allowed to.
Thank you.
We watch a lot of Trixie and Katya. And you watch Bob and Monet, but I watched that with you too. And so this is feeling very much like that moment. Yeah. A&S
very
moment.
T and K.
Yeah. I'm Trixie, you're Katya.
Yeah.
Sometimes a mix of both, but you're the Virgo.
Yeah.
And
but
Trixie's the
I'm not,
Virgo.
I don't know. You guys give similar
I'm the businesswoman.
And just like the serious, but also fun. And I'm just
You're the fun flap.
Whatever. Fun flap. He's just always laughing.
Yeah. God, I love them so much. Both of the pairings, Bob and Monet and Trixie and Katya. Just so thank you for doing what you do, the service. Please come on Shay and the Good People. I would love Trixie.
That would be amazing. Honestly.
At Pete's Candy Store. I think she's tall. She wouldn't be able to fit with the wig at Pete's. Who knows?
She'd be behind that whole...
Oh yeah, behind the like at Pete's Candy Store. You should come see the show. We're doing monthly, but there's like an arched light. It kind of looks a little bit old school or like vaudeville-y. So Trixie, I think you would absolutely love it. Come on the show. Only sing 3 songs.
Only 3. And Bob and Monet.
Yeah,
they sing too.
That's true. Yeah, Bob can come on and sing.
First.
Hit the track. Yeah. Oh, would love that.
Very different
Katya
vibe.
Could do.
Yeah, she has a song too.
Wow. Okay, we're manifesting for Pride Month next year.
I heard it here.
The 4 biggest queens in the world are like, I'm gonna do this little bitty show. Why not? Dream big.
Yeah,
that's what we're learning, and we're encouraging each other to like not stay small anymore and move forward. Okay, so going back a bit, so we did competitive dancing as kids, which if you've ever seen Dance Moms. It's like that, but in the 90s, before it was real, like before there was cameras, it just felt so intense. It was the costumes, it was the rehearsals. We were in rehearsals a lot, but I was like, I just took to it naturally. I was very flexible. I was like the youngest on the power team, which is like all the older kids. And I always was like the youngest on like the best teams, like the A teams. Not to brag, but I just liked it, and I really
lots of solos.
I did Gloria Estefan's Congo. Did that song, my first solo, but I did it for 4 years. We had like a circle drum with my name Shayna in rhinestones, glittery sequins in the front, and I would
like a stage, dance on it.
Yeah, and I would do like elbow stands over it. My legs would like touch my nose, and I was very flexible.
Wow,
and I was
aerials.
I was always known for my aerials,
That's right.
which is a no-handed cartwheel. So I would do like
a run, jump,
aerial, and then another one, like 3 or 4 of them.
Insane.
Yeah. And also like split and bring your back leg up.
All the way.
Yeah. Like bring it all the way up. And then let it go. Yeah, that was my thing. And I really thought I was going to do that forever until
I think that was just building up that stage performance and the drama.
Yeah. But I'm talking about me. I don't mean to talk about me.
It's okay. We love to talk about you.
No. Shay and the good people.
I am a good person.
But you were dancing too. You were a great person. Great person.
Yeah.
You were dancing too.
I had a solo as well. My little orange, like 2-piece.
To the song of Just Got Paid by NSYNC. Oh, it was amazing.
Love.
There's a great picture. Hopefully I can like put it in the video, but like great picture of us going to the NSYNC concert.
I don't think I've
really. Okay, I'll show you.
Maybe
it'll pop up here, but
that was my first concert.
Same.
Oh,
it was amazing.
Sisters.
Do you remember who opened for them? Was it Pink?
No, but I think it was one of
some pop star.
Britney or Christina or one of I can't remember though.
I'll have to go back and look. But
Yeah,
they did
we don't have her.
they did like a web series video portion, which now I know is kind of like standard. As they're like changing costumes, there's like video, and they're like did a skit with like Regis Philbin. It was so weird, but and wild. Yeah,
like for their concert.
Yeah, for the No Strings Attached tour
No strings
in DC RFK Stadium.
Wow.
So if you were there and you remember that concert, reach out because I want to get
comment below.
Comment below. I want to get the details.
Also, your memory is like, so you remember all the details to everything. I'm just like, life's just passing me by.
That's not true. I remember specific details about very specific moments, but truly, maybe this is taking a dark turn, but truly there's a lot of my childhood I feel like I don't remember. And that's why I started with the therapist that I have that I've been seeing for like a year and a half, because I wanted to do EMDR to try to like remember. It started when I was writing this Hanukkah show and people were helping me edit it, and they're like, but what's like a specific like Hanukkah night event? Then I was like,
lighting candles?
Yeah, but like family gathering stuff. I don't remember. And I was worried about that. So I heard EMDR could help with memory. So
I should get into that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's still some stuff that I block out, which we'll get to.
Makes
but
sense.
Going back to
I understand.
Yeah, of course.
I was there.
You were there, yeah.
I was there.
Different ages, but there. What did you, when you were, you did a solo to Just Got Paid, you had props galore.
Mm-hmm.
You had money props. You had a phone.
You had a pink little flip phone.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I was like talking on it and then threw it. Shut and threw it.
So cute. So cute.
It's very cute. I remember I had the move where I was like doing the straddle and then I'd like go in different directions.
Yeah, scoot through and then open and scoot through again. And
yeah.
Scoot. Yeah. Yeah, that was fierce. And then do you remember? Oh, there's like a boop outside. Do you remember the
Annie?
first musical we ever auditioned for? That changed my
Annie,
life.
right?
It was Annie at Cheverly Young Actors Guild.
Yes.
We both auditioned.
The big red bubble letters.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm obviously going to be Annie. And I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was Sophie the Hooverite who had a trash can and like fake fire in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And some little schmata thing.
That's right. And
I was an orphan. I don't remember the name.
Kate.
See? Talk about my name.
I was so pissed.
And I had a full line.
That's right. Yeah. I was pissed you got a bigger part than me.
I had one line. Actually, I think I had like 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah.
But one of the lines was like, yeah.
No, I think you had a line. I think you had a line in like the girls' orphan song where they're like, "And we will always be here." Or, I don't remember any.
Not Annie, but something like that. I don't remember, but I believe you.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember that experience was both of our first musicals and shows.
Yeah,
and from there, after that show, I quit dancing because I was like, no, this is fucking it. I am meant to be on stage, singing, not just dancing, but singing, wearing Ben Nye makeup and costumes and giving.
And acting and dancing.
Yeah, all at the same time. And I told Mom that I didn't want to dance anymore. I wanted to stop doing CNC dance. And
Did she cry?
Oh, yeah. She was so upset.
Really?
Yes.
She's like, we put so much money into this. But also, I think she just loved to see you on stage.
Well, she liked being the dance mom, too. She liked something to do.
Yeah.
Dance mom pin. I think she still has that.
Oh, absolutely.
No, she cried and she said, and she will absolutely be listening to this episode. So we're not dragging her, but I'm just telling my truth and telling the part of my story is that she was like, how dare you? God gave you this gift of dance and you're spitting in his face.
Wow.
First of all, God's not a man. And second of all, I'm doing like dancing and
yeah.
like dancing
and then
plus.
I remember after that, she, you're the triple threat. And like she would always.
She pivoted.
Yes. She was
Yeah.
like, okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
But
I would like to know.
she's very passionate.
Oh, honey, that's a good word for it. Our mother's passionate. I want to know from you, like, I know my experience, I know we're in the same house, but like, what were you were dancing and then you were doing theater along with me, but like, what were you experiencing creatively from the beginning?
I mean, I really loved dancing too. I remember when we moved to Trinidad and our family. Just
popping that in, throwing that in for the people.
We did with our family, and they made us choose, or only one of us could like continue. They didn't have like a dance studio like they had in Maryland
when we lived in Trinidad. We went from Maryland to Trinidad because our mom got a job with the U.S. Embassy. So we lived overseas for 3 years. Yeah. I don't talk about it with most people. So I just wanted to clue them in.
Our story.
Yeah. But so you're saying mom and dad.
Well, I just remember like we went out there and there was no dance studio, but there was like this gymnastics gym, and they only let one of us like continue dancing and doing acrobatics and stuff. And of course you got to do that because God gave you this gift.
Okay, I think that's fucked up of them to do. But like, yes, I do have a God-given talent.
I do remember like being pissed about that because I also was like passionate about music. But I still like, then I got to explore other activities after school at this ISP at the school we went to.
Yeah.
And I did some dancing, and I also, that was the first time I played I played a little bit of piano at our house in Maryland.
Yeah, we used to get piano lessons as kids.
Sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit.
It's okay.
So, and our dad started playing drums like right before we moved as well. So I would always
before we moved or when we got there.
No, he had a drum set in our basement in Maryland. Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I would go down there and just like when he wasn't home.
Bang around.
Bang, bang on the drums.
Oh, that's cool.
He taught me.
I didn't remember that.
Like I told him I wanted to play the drums, so he taught me like a few little things. And then he's like, you can only come down here and touch the drum set when I'm here.
What?
He was like, this is his drum set, whatever.
Okay. Also, we're not going to go into the midlife crisis that occurred shortly after. Like, started playing drums. Our dad cut off all his hair, dyed it bleach blonde, platinum blonde.
He called it was bleach blonde, but he called it platinum
blonde. Right. Masculinity is hilarious. And then also got a motorcycle.
That's right.
That moped or whatever, motorcycle.
I forgot about that.
It was like, your daughter, you're
everything.
what? You're like 8.
I was like 7.
Your
yeah.
7-year-old daughter can play whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
He
I'm
probably
feeling
thought I was going to like
No.
mess it up. But that was also like, we wanted to get, or I don't know if you felt the same, but I wanted to get pets and stuff. And he was always like, you can't take care of pets.
We never were allowed to get pets, but when we lived in Trinidad, we did get 2 cats, Winston and Angel. And the reasoning that they didn't let us get pets is because they were going to be this whole episode of shitting on our parents. We're not doing that. We love you. We love you, mom and dad. They're not together anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe we'll get into that. Like, but we're just talking about our lives and I'm not going to be scared. So we did get Winston and Angel. And our parents or I guess dad specifically was like, I don't want to get pets because I'm going to be the only one cleaning up their poop. And we're like, no way. We'll absolutely do it. We never did it. Maybe I scooped once, but we had this weird automatic scoop or something. But I do remember seeing dad out in the driveway, spraying down the litter box outside every other week or something. I did it with him a couple
times too.
Okay. I never did.
And I paid attention to animals, but
yeah,
I've always been really into animals and
that's true.
Nature and all that.
Yeah.
But all this, I brought all this up just to say, in Trinidad, I got to choose my after school activities. So I chose to play the steel drum.
That's right.
That's the first time I touched a guitar. Really, I did just a couple weeks of guitar lessons, and playing instruments and music just felt natural, But then I was always the sports one, So I was always played soccer most of my life, and dad coached my soccer team and all that. So it's I don't know. In my young, child comparing mine and stuff too. I was like, okay, Shayna's the performer and I'm the sportsy one, blah, 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 blah. But I definitely had and explored my natural talent too. And we had a piano in our house growing up. And I randomly one day taught myself to play a couple songs on the piano. And then mom and dad got me piano lessons and voice lessons. And I just hated it because I was like, this is too basic, too structured. And they're like, you got to learn the basics before you can move on. But so it was kind of just in and out, always wanted to just figure things out on my own. And then when they were trying to veer me in that direction, I was like, no, I got to do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget the question. I think it was where I started creatively.
Yeah. Just I was curious about your perspective on that. And I didn't know I didn't know that you felt like there was only certain boxes that each of us could pick, but that's a level of that's just nurture versus nature, right? Whether the parent says physically or verbally says we only have a certain amount of funds for one person to do one type of creativity, then of course you're going to interpret that and be oh, I have to choose something else or I can't do that. When there's just so many other options, you can be creative and do music or do dance that isn't necessarily fully paid for, but And
I did get to do that for a bit, at our after school activities or whatever.
Yeah.
Just in a different way.
Yeah. And then fast forward through high school and college.
Yeah. In high school too, I started to do some of the plays with you. And I was also just not
Were you
feeling
in
it.
Fiddler with No. Wait. You're in Christmas Carol with me?
Yeah. And that was when I was in middle school, I think. And they I thought that was so cool. They brought the kids, some of the kids to be in the Christmas Carol show. I was like, I'm in a show with my sister. She's the star.
I was high school. Okay, I was Ghost of Christmas Past in a wedding gown.
But to me, you're always the star. I didn't care.
So sweet.
And then I did Beauty and the Beast, which was my freshman year, which you auditioned for, but didn't get the role you wanted. And was
Beauty and the Beast at WJ. Wow, I was so cunty.
And then I only did it for a couple weeks and was
my senior year. But that's okay. At that point, I just wanted to drink and smoke weed. I don't think I was auditioning for theater programs, which I ended up doing in college for musical theater programs. But I think at that point, it felt So stupid. Felt like high school theater was like so lame. But I also was just pissed that I didn't get the
from that.
that I didn't get the come on.
Yeah,
didn't get
you should have. Your
lead.
senior year.
Who don't say the name, but do you remember who played it?
Mhm.
Okay, I think so. I think I remember too. All right.
I don't really remember. I don't remember her full name, but
I think
I'm
I
like
remember.
picturing.
Yeah. LOL. Oh wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll
Yeah.
talk about it off
After.
mic. Oh, maybe like log into the Patreon so you could hear.
Oh, Patreon
Yeah.
exclusive.
Right.
So
yeah.
I was in the ensemble for that but I just did a couple weeks and was like, this is lame. None of my friends are in this. My sister's not Belle. Like, what am I doing here?
Fuck this.
And then I did like cheerleading for a year and was like, this is also, I was like, oh, I get to dance, but also not me.
That was a little traumatizing, right?
I mean, in what way?
Everything
is a little bit
true. I thought like you had to get pulled out of that or something.
No, that was my senior year. When I did the dance group.
Group. Okay.
I did cheerleading, I think, for a year. And then also was just like going through different activities. Like I did track a little bit. Can't really remember what else. Did the a cappella group. We were in an a cappella group together in high school.
You and me?
Yeah. Vanilla.
What?
Remember?
No. Wait.
You don't remember that?
Maybe
you didn't do it your senior. No, we did it one year together.
Where did we sing a cappella? Like, where did we perform?
Probably just at like the chorus showcases.
I don't remember everything. I kind of blocked that out. Wow, something you remember.
I got something. Because there was also another person in that you're like butting heads with. I think.
Shocker.
Very Aries.
Very Aries woman. Mm. Although I feel like I've gotten a little bit more into my rising Libra.
Yeah.
Now. But also
cute outfit.
Right? Just looking cute. Cuddly, fun, dateable, marryable.
Right. Oh, put a ring on it.
Back to you.
So yeah, I did the a cappella group and I did chorus and stuff in high school. Also lots of drinking and smoking weed. And then my senior year,
which was my fault.
No, it wasn't your fault. But
I had it in my head when I was, this is not music related, but I had it in my head when we were seniors. I was like really worried that you would obviously like, you're going to smoke weed and drink when you're in high school. Like, I think not you, but like everyone in general. Right. I just assumed that. And I didn't want you to end up in a crowd, like do it for the first time without me or feel like you had to sneak around with it. I don't know what. I think I was just trying to be mom, I guess. Mm. But I also started smoking weed with my friend. Me and my friend started smoking weed with his older brother. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of a cool bond. And I saw how much he respected his older brother and how cool his older brother is. And he got me really into music because it was like 2007, 2008. So it was like the Shins, Bon Iver was coming out, like Blonde Redhead, Feist. I heard Sharon Jones for the first time and she blew my mind. Like, this is like music that's happening now. And I was high as a 16-year-old. Like, it was crazy. So in my mind, I was like, I want to be able, I know my sister's going to probably smoke weed and drink. So I want to like help her and craft that moment for her. So she doesn't
create a safe space so that,
in a way, I think that's what I was trying to do, but also whatever. I was in a lot of pain.
A little bit of that for sure. And then of course,
but I was in a lot of pain. That's why I was drinking a lot.
Yeah. And I was going to get myself into a bad crowd anyway.
You know what, sweetie? I was going to get myself into a bad crowd no matter what you did. Mm. So thank God you were there. I just put out the fake cigarette.
Yeah, it was helping.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so instead of...
and then my senior year, I did the dance group. And there was some other crazy things that happened that year that I got basically kicked out for a little bit of it, but then back in, and then like that was a whole mess.
Yeah.
But I really did love dancing and performing and like showcasing that.
Yeah. But were you playing guitar in high school?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I got my first guitar maybe like junior year of college.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't really start playing it. I just kind of had it because I knew that I wanted to play it and learn, and like asked for it for my birthday one year. And then, a couple of years later, when I was really met someone who was very influential and really good friend and an amazing guitarist. And he was like, you have this guitar, like, let's play it, you know? So he taught me, like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was like the first song that I learned to play guitar. Cause he was like, there's so many like rhythm changes and like finger placements, and it's not like regular chords, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So,
and the irony of like, sorry to interrupt you, the irony of like the Beatles. And I feel like that song specifically is like one of Dad's favorite Beatles songs.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Our dad was super into the Beatles.
Yeah, we definitely grew up listening to Beatles like first.
Yeah, totally. And like all the time.
Yeah. And do you ever think about the I don't know if it's like the irony or the comedy of life, like the cosmic joke of like our parents, like our mom maybe didn't love the Beatles, but absolutely loved John Lennon. Loved.
Yeah.
Had the picture, the t-shirt of John Lennon wearing the I Love New York t-shirt. She would wear that all the time.
And the little round
he
sunglasses.
had very round glasses. So the irony, or like that very 90s. And then the irony of our dad was like obsessed with Paul McCartney and like loved all of Paul McCartney's solo stuff. And like, of course their marriage wasn't going to last. If like your basis of like music, like two people loving some of the most prolific like pop band songwriters of this classic duo, even though there was 4 people in the band, but this duo of this musical entity and how much they clashed and how different they were and how they couldn't be in a band together anymore, even though they both had their own contribution to music history that will last forever or as long as humans exist.
Right.
And it's like,
wild.
Wow, our parents, like, that's a very clear barometer of like, if those are your values, if you have like a Paul McCartney, like maybe I'm overthinking it, but I've always been like, makes so much sense. If one parent comes in with a Paul McCartney essence and one comes in with a John Lennon essence, honey, it ain't gonna last. That is not going to last. And that's okay.
Yeah. I never thought about it that way.
I think about that all the time.
All the time.
24 hours, it's been 24 days. Don't say a word, it'll all be okay tomorrow. Just don't talk to me now. I was walking and where did you go? As I looked to the ocean and watched it flow out to the sea. Am I in too deep? You tried to warn me, but I didn't care. 'Cause the view is much brighter with my head in the air. So where will we go from here? Oh, where will we go from here? Where will we go from here? Oh, where will we go from here alone?
So Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah. And taught me like one or two others. I can't really remember what they were exactly, but that's when I started playing guitar. And that was mostly, I guess that was right at the very end of college, like right before I graduated. And then we traveled together and like drove cross country and stuff. And we were playing music. And also, I don't know why I haven't mentioned this,
What?
but when we were little, really the biggest thing was you taught me how to harmonize. And we used to sing, we used to like, I remember maybe when I was like 6 or 7, I even remember like singing in the car with you to like every song on the radio. You'd be like, okay, wait, listen. So here's the third up and the fifth. And then we would,
I don't
we
think
would try
I
and
knew the
harmonize.
fifth. I don't know if I knew that. Maybe I did. Prodigy.
Well, eventually we figured that out.
Yeah, eventually.
Maybe it wasn't right
Maybe
away.
I don't remember. But yeah, I do remember us singing all the time.
Yeah. And yeah, we were always like singing in the house. Dad would sing a lot too.
Singing in the house. Singing in the house. Just singing in the house. Just singing in the house. Yes. So Dad was singing in the house.
Yeah, we're in the car all the time. We were singing,
Yeah.
just singing and singing. So
yeah,
I'd
we
always
did sing a lot.
I don't know. So I guess I always loved to sing and just like we'd like play with words or sentences or whatever and make everything into a song. And Dad and I just like another memory.
Dropped in. Incredible.
Dad would also, I remember him like anytime he would make a song out of any word, you know, or like anytime we'd ask or say something, he would like
we just did.
No, like we also always still do.
Yeah.
Walking down the street.
Yeah. I do feel like we have a very, I don't know if it's like a unique gift or just like a personality quirk. Like I can just notice someone says something like the tone, the tune of someone literally just saying like, I gotta go uptown. Like, I gotta go uptown. I gotta go uptown. Maybe it's really annoying, but it is.
But it's fun for us.
It actually feels good to be like, oh, I can hear music in people talking.
Yeah. And like all the inflections and intonations, it's actually like everything is music.
Yeah.
When we speak.
Yes. In like, again, not in a cheesy way, but like fascinating about humanity and human speech and language and how we just all kind of made up this language. And I, unfortunately only speak English. So I don't know if I could do it in other languages, but just like hearing language come out in a musical and interpreting it in my brain in a musical tone, even if I never sing it or anyone hears it.
Yeah.
I
mean, like a lot of Latin languages, romantic languages, to me sound very musical.
Yeah.
And like
I guess
beautiful
poems
too.
And then songs. You know what I mean? Like songs are sometimes poems and poems are sometimes like language in a floral interpretive way. Not floral. But floral?
Like or flowy.
Flowy.
The flowy floral.
Yeah. Flowy floral. Flory bagel. Shout out Flory Bagel. I love you so much.
Floral Flory Bagel.
Yeah. Flory Bagel is a really amazing artist, actor, songwriter, musician. And one of my oldest friends, like we met in high school. I was 17. She was 18. We were doing Fiddler on the Roof. I played Yenta. She played Golda. And just from there, like in between rehearsals, like on stage, we would just go after it. It was so funny. Yeah, just being so silly. And as also, since I've known Flory for so long, since high school, you've known Flory for, anyways, she should be on the show and come on the show sometime.
Absolutely.
Love her. Shout out Flory Bagel.
Yeah.
So we were singing all the time. You drove cross country after college, playing guitar with your friends, just like singing, playing other people's songs. When did you write your first song? And what was it?
Well, I used to write a lot of poems. And
Flowy poem.
Flowy poem.
Please welcome to the stage, Miss Flowy Poem.
But I mean, I think even like middle school, high school stuff, I would write poems, or like if I was upset, instead of like journaling, I would write it as a poem, you know? A lot of like relationship trauma or struggles and stuff, I'd write it as a poem, you know, or like my thoughts and feelings instead of just like journaling. I think maybe I wrote my first song, I don't know, when I was living on the farm in like 2017, because I had a lot of time just to myself and to be creative. And I definitely, after I was learned to play guitar, I would use that as like a emotional release, you know, or if I was stressed or anxious or whatever, I just kind of go somewhere by myself and play guitar and let it out. I don't remember what my first song was. But it was there.
And it happened, sweetie.
It happened.
And now you have an arsenal of songs.
Yes,
almost. Well, yeah, you had your first EP come out last year?
Yeah, the end of 2022.
Yeah.
I recorded and released my first single 2021.
Cool.
That was starring Roll.
That's right. I was singing it incorrectly this morning. Because also, side note, we live together now. But
yes.
we'll get to that.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm used to just play, just like jam, just play for fun, just kind of be really silly and, or like get drunk and just say random silly things, you know, and have my 3 chords that I would play it to. And then I didn't really start performing until, when I met my friend Richard. Shout out Akine.
Richard.
He also, when I was living in Santa Cruz, California for a while, and I met Akine just at this, like, it was just a party that I wasn't planning to go to, but I was visiting a friend. They were like, hey, we're going to this thing. Let's go. So we just went, and it ended up being this huge jam, and they had a drum set and a bunch of guitarists and horns and things. And I was like in the quote unquote audience area, or just like a little semicircle watching them, and started like singing really kind of quietly under my breath, blah, blah, blah. And he was a couple seats away from me and just looked at me and was like, sing louder. And I was like, okay. And then just got up or sang louder, and then like just got up and was like running that jam and just like singing all night,
sweetie,
and it felt really great. So then we started playing and performing together as like a small little group called the Half Truth with our other friend Kyle. And I still like had so much performance anxiety.
Yeah,
and,
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, was always very nervous, and was just like, felt like when I would step on a stage, I sounded way different than when I was just like having fun, or like it felt more serious, you know.
Like you heard yourself differently, or you felt like people were perceiving your voice differently than when you were singing by yourself?
I definitely was hearing myself differently, and probably was like shaky and just anxious, you know, or like my anxiety overtook me, so I couldn't give it my all.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you still feel like that when you perform?
No, because it used to be like I was performing for the audience, or like I wanted to like people to like it, or like people to think it was good or whatever. And then one day, excuse me. Then one day Akine's just like, just have fun. Like it's not so serious. It doesn't have to be like, we're just playing an open mic. Like it doesn't mean, I'm not like trying to get signed for some record, but for some reason it just felt so like I how to do it right, you know.
That rising Capricorn.
And that Virgo sun, very self-critical. Or
Taurus
just
moon.
like the perfection.
Abigail's a triple earth, y'all. So heads
Sure
up, we're in
am.
the green button down.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think that's helpful for people to hear too, of like it's performance anxiety or just anxiety of giving this part of yourself is so normal and is so much a part of the journey to I mean, I don't want to speak for you or put words into your mouth, but I've just seen how much you've grown over the years and just like who you are and like how that has been told you I was gonna cry. How that has been so much in line and in step and like hand in hand with your music career. Like you allowing yourself to blossom and step more into being on the mic, writing songs, playing guitar, not talking in between songs, talking in between songs, like deciding what you're going to wear for the show, writing an EP, releasing an album. Like you have just uncovered more and more of yourself as you pushed, like not like pushed past the fear because it's always going to be there, but you're like, all right, buddy, let's go. Yeah. Like you're coming with me. Like I'm going to do this even though I'm scared. And I think that's really inspiring.
Now I'm drifting sideways and up to the moon. As it glistens through the dark, all I can dream of is how I feel when I'm seen on my own. I know I'm not alone.
Now I am excited to be on stage, and like sometimes it still feels a little scary, or like I feel some of that anxiety coming up. But another thing that I think about too is, and you know, somebody must have told me once, is like I'm the one on the mic. Like if I'm on stage, like people are gonna listen to me, and it doesn't really matter. But not in like a you better listen, but just you know, like it doesn't matter what I say. Like I can say the wrong thing, I can fumble my words, I can say something that I might think is silly but is actually really inspiring to somebody else, you know, or like I feel like I've learned, everyone has learned so many things that we don't recognize when, like how normal a lot of things that we think are for us. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like you could be saying something that, somebody's heard before, but somebody else hasn't, or they haven't thought about it in that way, you know, and it can open some kind of door.
Totally. Yeah.
For somebody else, you know?
And timing. Like you may have said the same thing or shared the same fear a million times, but like somebody at that moment, at that time who you're talking to needs to hear it in that moment and to really normalize fear, to normalize like being in a human body and having experiences and having trauma and, you know, big T trauma, little T trauma, still having desires and wants and needs and still having this little like fire inside of you that's like, no, but I want to perform. I want to be a musician. And I'm not going to be on the same scale as like, you know, I'm not trying to be Lady Gaga, like do pop music or sell out arenas. That'd be cool. But like, I'm also like, I want to share my songs and my voice in a very intentional, meaningful way and for other human beings.
Yeah. And I think it was like just, the more I put myself out there, the more I tried to perform for myself instead of other people, actually the better feedback I got from other people, you know, because I was actually able to like, fully show myself and my full range and everything. And a lot of people also, you know, weren't expecting that from me or just like never knew, because music for the longest time was something for me, something for just my healing and like a way for me to work through struggles in my life. And there's always somebody who's like, well, most of the time I perform, there's somebody who will say something about my music, or that they got something from it. They felt something from it, you know, even though sometimes I'm like, this is a little too sad or like this song or the song feels silly just because I played it so many times, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know what somebody else is going to gain from it.
Totally. And I do think for me, being a performer, I don't know if you feel this way, being a performer is like all about the infinity loop of like performer to audience, the energy, and then the energy comes back audience to performer.
Yeah.
But the seed, literally like the light source, actually comes from us first. So we send it out first, the energy out, and it's the only, however dark or however dim or bright the light is, starts with us, starts with how we feel about ourselves. And that's like what comes out, goes into the audience, and then whatever we can give, we get that back in ways that we don't know. Like sometimes it's amazing and sometimes it's like neutral and sometimes it's not great. But more often than not, I feel like it's great. I feel like especially New York audiences are really, for music, are really kind and appreciative and listen. I mean, I'm doing specific like solo music that is like somewhat on the quieter side, or like demands attention a little bit more than like a rock show or something, but that people can just kind of like, like kind of do their own thing, or like go to the bar and be like gin and tonic, you know? I love that infinity loop. I haven't thought of that. Yeah. Okay. I also didn't, I guess, I didn't start performing like as a solo artist until after I released my EP as well. So like I didn't really I started performing with Akine and like some friends and doing backup vocals for people or guitar. Maybe it's been only like 3 years now, but I just started performing solo of January 2023. And what? Really?
Okay, I had one solo show actually in January 2022 that I didn't like perform at all.
Wow.
And then January 2023, I started performing regularly.
Yeah.
And I just like set that intention that that's what I want to do. I want to have a show every month. And
but 2022 was a tough year, start of a tough year too. So it makes sense that you were like, I have other things I need to focus on before.
Yeah, and I was working on my EP that year. Yeah, too.
True. That takes a lot of focus.
And just my mental, and I think that's when I started chanting too in 2022. And
Nichiren Buddhism.
And now, like before every show, that also really helps with my anxiety, and performance anxiety. It's before every show, like thinking like, okay, this is let me just have fun. This is going to be for me, but also putting intention and calming my nerves by chanting beforehand. Like, I think it's really important for, people to try, or whoever's giving themselves to the world, whatever, to center yourself before and set an intention before you go out there, especially, if you have any kinds of anxieties or demons in there that creep up,
Yeah. I think that's really good advice.
Yeah. And Nam Myoho Renge Kyo works for me.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love that. I definitely, I do like at least 3 before I sing too. It's a little hard for Shay and the Good People if you come to the shows, because there's like no green room. There's not even like a backstage area. So we're sound checking as people are coming in, kind of make it a part of the show. And then I just like turn my back to the audience and take a breath and chant 3 times, and then we start the show. But that does help, having something. I'm pretty ritualistic about shows, like more like bigger shows. But I think that's really good advice for folks. If you're like, how else do I get through my anxiety? Like, give yourself something consistent to do right before you perform. So at least you can count on that. And the last question, we're getting to time here, but the last question, I know we could talk forever. Maybe we'll have you back for part 2. If you want to hear Abigail Rose, Tommy Rose, more of she comment below. Let me know. We'll have her back into the studio. Sister pod.
Yeah, if you're interested in a sister podcast,
Oh,
comment
wow.
below.
That'd be fun.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
That's something else I have to remember too. It's like I
What?
can't do everything all at once.
Right.
I gotta one thing at a time.
Yeah. And don't look at me as a barometer because I'm not
do everything.
I'm not a
You're
workaholic,
amazing.
but I'm a projectaholic. I realized I'm just addicted to starting projects, and some of them happen and some of them don't. But then I'm like, I'm so stressed. I'm like, well, why are you trying to do 7 projects? Yeah. Maybe do 2. But last thing I want to know is you're very new to Brooklyn. You literally just moved here maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, not even
2 months ago.
Mhm.
What was your perception of living? What was your perception of being a musician and an artist living in Brooklyn? And what is the reality that you're living in now?
Okay.
What surprises you?
Yeah. Well, specifically with music, I mean, I guess I thought it would be really hard to try and get anything going or, meet or talk to, even though I know there's a million musicians here, just still meet and talk to people and have people be interested in me because there are so many musicians here. And I mean, I think moving in with you is definitely helpful, and you've already kind of established a lot of things here, which is great. But even still, I mean, social media has been very helpful. I played 2 shows since I've been here already, just from people reaching out to me on social media and being me posting stuff too, which I also am not as frequent.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Getting into that. So yeah, that felt really good of people seeing and validation of me of look, I can put myself out there and get something back, and whatever my intention is that I'm putting out there, it seems to be coming to me. Something that surprised me in the best way is that people are so nice.
Classic
and really
reflection of New York when you move here.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up coming to New York my whole life, but I also had my own idea of what New York was and what New York was for me.
Yeah.
And
we would also come up to New York to visit the Jewish family during Christmas time.
Yeah. And the worst times
on the bus coming up, crowded as all heck.
Yeah. Just
It
so
was
loud.
So it was just the energy. It was bad.
And Brooklyn's just a lot different than the city too, and I have had good feedback, and people have been seem really kind and open and easy to talk to, and that feels good.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I'm super happy that you're here and we live together. We share a wall.
That's right.
So we're going to just have to communicate.
We are both single.
I don't want to be. But no, actually, I'm very busy. I've got a lot going on. I love myself.
Yeah. And maybe a partner would help some of that.
Yeah, money. But I'm just so happy that you came in today, and I know you really wanted to go over what we're going to talk about, but I think this was the perfect conversation.
Virgo, so nervous.
I think we can do this again. Who knows? I mean, we talk every day, but this was really special.
Just record it.
Yeah, right. But this is just special getting to know your side of the street a little more, growing up creatively and musically, and tell the people at home where they can find you.
You can find me at Tommy Rose Music
on Instagram.
On Instagram, TOMIROSE Music. And I'm also starting to transition back to Abigail Rose, maybe. So you can also find me at AB Rose Music.
AB Rose Music 2 Instagrams and
Ooh.
1 woman, Fierce.
Here I am, and I was just like, I'm terrible at posting, and I have 2 Instagrams.
Instagrams. Too many places to post.
Yeah, too many things to do.
And what's your EP called?
It's just self-titled EP, Tommy Rose, TOMIROSE.
Cool. Find that out on the streaming services.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Follow me on Spotify, Instagram.
Amazing.
We'll connect. Looking for more places to perform in Brooklyn as well. So.
Yeah, slide in, Heenies, sign the DMs. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Shay and the Good People podcast. Come out and see the show. We're running it monthly, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
24 hours, it's been 24 days, and I keep on wondering if something has changed. Did I do something wrong? Thought we were getting along so well. So where will we go from here? Where will we go from here? Where will we go from here? Where will we go from here alone? Thank you.